Hey guys, Gene here with G Squared Tactical. Finally got to bring it outside. Finally a day when there's no wind chimes, no wind blowing, no audio issues. Thank God for that. Able to get out here and do a few little tabletops. Something we hadn't been able to do in a while. Some of the videos recently have had a lot of wind noise and things. We did get some new audio equipment, but the Lord's given us a good day today to talk about some guns. So let's just get right to it. Today I'm going to be talking about the Bersa Thunder 380. I personally don't know a whole lot about the Bersa brand because this is the only Bersa that I have ever owned. I know that it's imported by Eagle Imports, and like I said, this is the only Bersa I've ever had, so I can't really speak to the quality, durability, etc. of the Bersa brand in general. But I will just start out, before I start talking about some of the features of the gun, I will say that I bought this gun not because I wanted to do a review, not because it was something people wanted me to do a review on, but rather because I actually liked the gun. And I've had this gun several times. Both times I had it, it was in the stainless or gray colored lower and the black slide. I just really like that color combo. The other one that I had the Crimson Trace laser grips on it, which were really nice. They were front activated here, and the laser was here on the side. It really worked great. It was just a really nice little setup. I really liked it. I may or may not put some laser grips on here at a later time, but they are a little bit expensive, so I'm not going to do that right now. But as far as the gun itself, the reason I bought it, again, not to do a review, not those things as I mentioned, but because I actually liked the gun. The very first time I bought the gun, I bought it because I was in the store. They had an unbelievable sale on it. I had some type of a 50 off 100 or something like that as well to go on top of that, so I got a crazy good deal on this gun. And like I said, it had the Crimson Trace laser grips on it. I think even with the laser grips, I ended up out the door somewhere around $325, and those laser grips are well over $200, I believe. So I just picked it up for that reason alone. I didn't really like the ergonomics. I didn't like how it looked, and you know me, and aesthetics and things like that. So I picked it up for the great deal that it was, and in my mind I thought I'll probably sell this one day because I really don't like how it looks or any of those things. It kind of has an old PPQ look, an old school look to it. But you know what? I took it out to the range one day. This was before the ammo crisis, of course. It's been about 3 years ago. I took it out to the range. I had plenty of 380 ammo, and man, I tell you, I didn't want to stop shooting it. It was such a blast to shoot, and it never gave me a single hiccup of any kind. And I'm pretty sure I had some pro mags at that time. This gun is safe, by the way, but I'm pretty sure I had some pro mags at that time, and even they done good, and I'm not typically a fan of those. But this only came with one magazine. I did go to Bersa and the website and picked up another one. It was $26, $27. I like to get the factory mag if I can. I've had some issues in the past with Pro Mag, but after shooting this gun, I tell you, like plenty of guns that I have that I didn't really like aesthetically and ergonomically how it looked to the eye, I tell you, like, it looked so much better after I took it to the range and I shot it, and it was flawless. And just a tremendous shooter. So fun to shoot, very accurate for a 3.5-inch barrel, and I wanted it. I become a fan. I got me a little Phobos holster for it. I carried it a good bit. Had the laser on there. I had it dialed in. It was just a fun gun. Well, something happened. I wanted some other kind of gun. I wanted to sell one in order to buy it. This was in there. This was one I said I thought I would part with. So I sold the gun. And I would say within a few weeks I regretted selling it because I really do like the gun. So let's just get to some of the features here of the gun. As I mentioned before, it does have the 3.5-inch barrel. Overall length is about 6 5/8 inches. Again, it's very similar to the PPQ. In fact, some people say that it's a copy. The gun is made in Argentina, imported by Eagle Imports. It does have a security lock for the trigger, which is I guess if you like, it's a cool little thing. Comes with a little lock. I'll put a picture up. You put on your keychain, you can lock the trigger where you can't pull the trigger back. I could envision a scenario where that would come in handy. That's pretty nice. One of the features I really like about it, if you've watched our channel, you know that I'm a fan of hammer fired guns with a decocker. Yes, I do sometimes carry a 1911, or I have a 1911 on a nightstand, and I simply, put one in the chamber, set the safety, or in the case of a 1911, you'd be pushing it up, and that's just fine. But a gun that I would carry in my pocket, something a little smaller, a 3-pound trigger pull on a single action, and it makes me feel a little sketchy about it. So I love the idea that I can chamber around and I can safely drop the hammer on that round with this decocker, and if I want to push it back up out of the safe, I can, or if I want to put it back on safe, I can do that as well. So you can carry this, I guess, 3 different ways. You can put one in, leave the hammer back so that you're pulling in a single action, put the safety on. I didn't really do that right, did I? So you can put the safety on with the hammer back, or let me do that again. So I racked it back, so you can carry it with just the safety on, hammer back, or you can decock it, leave the safety on with the hammer forward, or you can leave the hammer forward, take the safety off. This is probably the way that I would carry it. This would be the way I would feel most comfortable with. Yes, the initial trigger pull on a double action is going to be a lot heavier, but I can tell you this much. One thing that made this gun even more fun is that, usually on a revolver or something like that, you have a double action pull. I mean, it can get up to 12, 13 pounds sometimes. This is about 8 pounds, 10 ounces. I have put the gauge on it and got about 9 out of it, and I have gotten about 8 out of it. All I can say for sure, it's very smooth, it's very consistent. If any of you guys know anything about the Bodyguard 380, you know that when you pull the trigger back, you get about halfway back, feels like it's going to break, it don't break, it gets stiff again, comes back a little more, feels like it's going to break, still doesn't break, and then I'm sorry, my dog's been an idiot squeaking a toy, but then it finally breaks. Well, that's not the case with this. I mean, this thing is consistently smooth. It breaks at the same time, just like you would expect. It's smooth, it's very light, it feels lighter than 8 pounds. I just love the double action pull on this gun. The single action pull is about 3 pounds 12 ounces according to the manufacturer. I have gotten as low as about 3 pounds with a single action pull on this gun, which again is freaking awesome. After you fire the first round, now you're in a single action. It will not fire, of course, without the magazine in, and I mean, it's good. The trigger is rounded, does have some grooves in the center of the trigger. That can be an issue for some people, given how wide the grip is here from front to back, given how far forward the trigger sets. So it is a little bit of a long pull before it finally breaks, and there's nothing to really jump up and down about trigger reset and things of that nature. But we're talking about an MSRP of $299, and pre-pandemic you could have found and picked this thing up for $229, $239. So you know what, it's packed full of features for a gun that's under $300. So you could sacrifice a few little things that you may not like, because yes, I am a little bit of a trigger snob. It has a 3 white dot sight system. They are windage adjustable. In fact, the rear sight has an actual screw where the center of the sight will move left to right. Again, a feature you would expect to see on definitely a more expensive gun. It has nice little grooves on the back strap and also on the front here. Feels very, very good in the hand for a small pistol. One thing about small pistols is they have a tendency not to feel that great in the hand. That's not the case with this. It feels very, very great in the hand. Nice purchase, not too much texturing, just perfect. Nice little groove action going on in the front of the trigger guard here. Nice little undercut here in the front. Just again to get that high purchase. Really nice. Very, very good, long, whatever, extended beaver tail here again that allows you to get very high up on the gun and not get that trigger, or I'm sorry, that slide bite that you'll get sometimes when a slide comes back forward, especially on, you know, a smaller gun like this. It is an all metal gun except for, of course, the grips. But I tell you, it says it's 20 ounces, roughly about 20 ounces unloaded. It's so well balanced, it feels lighter than 20 ounces. I mean, for an all metal gun, it is very light, very, very light. My wife has carried this gun in her purse and talked about how she couldn't even hardly tell that it was there versus a Glock 43 and some of the other guns she's put in there. She's a fan of this gun. She's a fan of how this gun shoots. She will carry it one in the pipe, hammer forward, safety off, same way that I would carry it. That's the way I feel most comfortable with. Let's see, you can, like I said, you can change, very customizable in that you can change the grips. You can get wood grips for this. I mean, you can really spice it up if, you know, if that's what you would like to do. Of course, it's double action, single action, imported by Eagle Imports. I don't know much about the Bersa brand in general, as this is the only Bersa pistol that I've ever owned. But if they're all function this way, if they all are as reliable as this one, then I would say that the Bersa brand is probably a very good brand of gun. It has this little, I guess I don't know what I'm gonna call that. I guess magazine drop safety, I guess what you would call it, where you have this little indentation on the very bottom of the magazine. When you push the magazine in, it engages that, thus allowing you to pull the trigger. The trigger will not pull or will not drop the hammer or pull the hammer back if the magazine is not in place. I'm not necessarily a fan of that, but whatever, it is what it is. So you will have to have the magazine in place. They do have 8-round mags that you can buy for this. I think maybe there's even some 15-round mags if you want it way down here that you can buy to put in it. But overall, very nice gun. YouTube don't really care much about us, you know, taking the guns down or showing how to take them down. If you've never had this gun or a gun like this, it can be a little tricky the first time you do it. But essentially you just pull the slide back, and this little lever right here, you just push down like this here. You raise up on the back of the slide and just pull it forward, kind of raise up and pull it forward. It'll come right off. I say right off like it's super easy. Like I said, the first time you do it, it can be a little bit tricky, but once you get it, it actually is very, very easy. Goes back on much the same way. Slide it back on, lift it up, raise it back, and then you press this back down, push the slide back down, let it go. You're back on, you're good to go. Like I said, we're not going to show you how to do that today because YouTube kind of frowns for some reason on us showing people how to take guns down. I don't know. Anyway, so the magazine release, you know, I guess if I had something to beef about, something to complain about, it is very high up here. There's not a chance, unless you got Andre the Giant hands, that you're going to be able to reach up there and push that without changing your grip. So, you know, it is what it is. Most guns are that way, but it does sit kind of high on the pistol. That's one thing I've noticed. But I can tell you what, you want to check this out. I mean, that thing launches out of there. So I mean, I guess that's good. You know, you want the magazine to drop, number one, but you also want it to drop and get away from you in a real life situation, should it present itself. So again, just another nice little thing about the gun that I like. Again, the decocker, I mean, good grief, I love that. And plenty of safeties, very safe to have laying around with the trigger lock safety here. My wife enjoys carrying this, so I would say that even a woman would enjoy carrying it. If you can find you some 380 ammo, if you can find one of these, which can be a little difficult during this age, I would say by all means pick it up. No, I have not shot this gun, but like I said, I have owned this very gun several times in the past, and it shot just wonderfully. Very, very fun to shoot. A little bit snappy, as you would expect a 380 to be, but very accurate, very reliable. I really, really like this gun. If you're looking to maybe pick one of these up and you're being hesitant, if you trust me, then of course you have my blessing. Definitely go out, buy this gun. It's a very awesome gun. We thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit the like button and please subscribe. We do have a giveaway coming up. I know we've been talking about it. Me and Trey just haven't been able to get together to do it. We have it ready to go. But again, hit that thumbs up button, like the video, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. And hey, you know, if we left anything out, ask us some questions. We love hearing from you guys, and we will respond to everyone. Thanks for watching, guys.